On March 5th, 1770, British soldiers fired into a crowd of colonists in Boston, killing 5 people. And this became known as the Boston Massacre. And the colonists, well, naturally, they wanted these soldiers hung and quartered. So the accused soldiers, well, they got a trial, of course, but they also got something rather revolutionary and perhaps even unexpected. They got a defense attorney named John Adams. Yes, that John Adams, future president. John Adams. Anyway, Adams wins, and most of his clients, these soldiers, who killed the colonists, well, most of them actually walk free. And, I think it'd be fair to wonder, why would a founding father defend the enemy and such an awful, awful event? Well, the reason he did so, the reason Adams believed in doing this was something, at the time at least, something that was rather radical. Adams believed, that everyone deserved a fair trial, even people we perhaps despise. And this idea would become actually the backbone of the Sixth Amendment. But before we get there, let's rewind even further. You see, the colonists, well, they had watched the British government abuse the legal system for many years. They had already seen people dragged into secret trials, held in jail indefinitely without even knowing the charges against them, denied the right to question their accusers, and so forth. King George's courts sometimes shipped colonists back to England for a trial. I mean, imagine defending yourself miles and miles from home, from your witnesses, from, anyone who could actually help you. Well, the founding fathers, of course, well, they remembered all of this when they wrote the Bill of Rights. James Madison, the amendment's architect, well, he knew that a government could use a rigged justice system to destroy pretty much anyone it wanted. So the Sixth Amendment, well, built a fortress of protections: the right to a speedy and public trial, an impartial jury, the right to know what you're accused of, to confront witnesses against you, to call witnesses for you, and to, of course, have the right to a lawyer. And these weren't just, nice ideas. They were shields against tyranny, the abuse of power. The founding fathers had lived, of course, through what actually does happen when government has unchecked power over the accused. They had seen already neighbors disappear, dissidents silenced, and justice twisted into a weapon. So the Sixth Amendment says, not here. Nope, not in America. And today, when you see law and order or hear about, someone lawyering up, well, you're watching these 18th century protections in action. Every time a defendant faces their accuser in court, every time someone gets a public defender, every time a trial happens promptly instead of, many years later. Well, that's the Sixth Amendment working exactly as the founders intended. And as president-to-be, John Adams practiced well before it was cool. And by the way, if you've enjoyed this video, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Thanks.